Chief here, and I have another thought. Today, I was thinking about climate change. And who's actually responsible for climate change? Because if you listen to the elites, the so-called elites of the society, they will say our usage of things, of products, what we buy, is actually the reason for climate change. And they're not wrong. They're not wrong. But who's selling us this shit? And you'll see like a lot of the liberal people who are, the biggest proponents of changing the world, the Green New Deal. Oh, let's change the world and all we buy and do everything. But they're taking video with their iPhone. They're the ones who are fashion forward, buying all this fucking bullshit from China. And it's not just how China makes all this bullshit using slave labor. And these people are purporting that they're like the biggest, most, bleeding hearts, the most benevolent, magnanimous people you want to meet in the world. Oh, I just care about the world. I care about everybody. Oh, we have to save everybody. Do you even know the cost of, like, number one, making your iPhone, but traveling that shit across the ocean to get that shit in your hands in the store? Even that shit coming off the port going to your store. What are the ramifications to the climate for that? What are the ramifications for you getting your Jordans and your fucking all the stupid ass bullshit you want to buy? That you are these status symbols that make you feel liberal for some reason, but also try to make you feel good. Which materialism will never ever make you feel good. Because it's impossible to keep up with the Joneses, so-called, unless you're fucking making hella money. And all these fucking liberal clowns following all these influencers and listen to all the things, trying to dress exactly like them, following every single edict, all this fucking propaganda, every fucking thing these fucking scumbag influencers say they follow, and they're not even quantifying their own actions in their lives. Like even the vegan shit, the fake meat, which is some 1984 shit. All the fake, like this shit is getting crazy. That's some pure 1984 shit where they say it tastes like meat, it looks like meat, but there's not a single drop of meat in it. That's from the Michael Radford one from 1984, the movie, which is fantastic. Everybody should watch it. I watched it again the other day. It was great. And it's just so revelatory too. I was like, oh my God, we literally are living this. We're not living as dystopian as them. We're not living at a town that obviously looks all bombed out and shit. And we don't literally have bombs being dropped on our heads. But I think that's also the illusion where they want us to think that a dystopian society is this one where the buildings are collapsing, we're living underground, and there's food shortages and shit, which is most likely on the way, the food shortages at least. But they're instituting their program by actually keeping us comfortable. This is a dystopian society because they're keeping us comfortable by, just providing us everything we need. Every amenity possible, they make sure that we can indulge in. But for these people, and the thing that made me think about climate change too, because the people who are promoting it the most are the elites, the politicians who are either getting money from these lobbyists, from these groups who are fucking have all their business in China and they have to cross that shit across the street or across the sea or fly it across the sea, which are doing all the emissions and releasing all the carbon in the air that they swear is the fucking devil. These people who are invested in all these oil companies, they are getting money from these lobbyists. All these elite companies, all these fucking bastard companies who always try to claim that they're green or that there's some moral arbiter, that they are the people who we should be following just because they change their avatar on all these shitty ass social media sites, or just because they have their CEO come profess or talk at some TED Talk or some conference and say that they're like, oh, we need to fight climate change. Oh, we need to fight racism and sexism. But you guys are the biggest proponents of it, actually, by your actions. I'm not one of these people who listens to rhetoric and thinks that for some reason I'm supposed to just like think that just because you're just this good orator and you're just some rhetorician. I don't know if that's a word, but I don't give a fuck. I make up shit, make up good words, and I use archaic words and obsolete words, especially if they can change definition. I can do all that shit if I want. But anyway, like these people are good orators. Like for example, I live on the West Coast. I'm from Seattle and I moved to Los Angeles. The West Coast is fucking becoming a wasteland. And we got all these fucking drones who keep voting for these bastards, these blue bastards. And I'll call them bastards. I don't give a fuck. I'm not a Republican and I'm apolitical. But I can't look, we're not looking at who's governing these cities, and there's homelessness is out of control. The rents are out of control. Even though there's hella jobs, they're the shittiest jobs on the planet. They can't, they're taxing the shit out of us. They can't provide a living wage. But all they got to do was, like the other day, Mayor Garcetti changed the name of downtown, the fucking place. You know, it's across from Union Station, whatever that fucking place is called. They took the dude's name off the building. Oh, we're for indigenous people. Oh, we're doing all this symbolism, which doesn't solve shit. All it does is make the politician, this sophist, seem like a good guy. Oh, I wish I would have brought that shit in here. Cause I got we stocked up on Aunt Jemima, but we're down to our last box, and then I got that, I don't even know what it's called. The mill company bullshit. It's like, oh, black folks, we're gonna save you from Aunt Jemima. Aunt Jemima is the one who's ruining your black society, and that's why you guys are poor. Oh, Uncle Ben, this white-haired nigga on this box is oppressing you. Oh, and then they get all these black flunkies and all these critical theorists. And that's another thing, too. The white supremacists always try to talk about, it's critical race theory. No, it's critical theory that you white people are just talking to yourselves about, and they're using all these black flunkies to talk about. They didn't never talk about that. It's white people going after white people, and we're just stuck in the middle. Because, like, the white supremacist liberal always uses us as their shield. But climate change is on the elite. I want them to dissolve their companies. You know, don't build these headquarters. Every single city they got a Google headquarters. Every single city they got some Amazon plant. And how much material does it take to build that plant? What about all these Amazon trucks and cars? And they're not just taking these Amazon vehicles. You see them running around in like Ryder trucks and fucking U-Haul trucks, trying to deliver these fucking packages. People using their own personal vehicles to deliver these fucking packages. These people are just the most duplicitous, just, you know, hypocritical fucking pieces of shit you ever want to meet in your fucking life. And the thing that gets me is that they get all these fucking liberal drone cult member scumbags that just vote for the scumbags who tell them to vote. Like they just came out with Zuckerberg put millions of dollars for the Democratic Party promotion, but he doesn't. But he censors all other people on his platforms who may have a dissenting political opinion. Only dissenting, because if it's not his political opinion, then it must be kicked off his fucking platform. And even liberals, who are supposed to be the smart people, should be patronized by all these people who think that they need to censor information because they're susceptible, because they're so idiotic that they're obviously going to be susceptible to so-called misinformation. Climate change. The earth is always changing climate. There's no such thing. Like, I believe that we have undoubtedly affect our environment based upon our materialism and our, you know, what we spend our money on, and us hoarding, and how much waste we consume. Not just shitting, but also like all the packaging. You know, like when I take out when I take my trash cans and my recycling bin to the curb every week, I'm like, God damn, we really used all this fucking material and wasted all this fucking food. Or food scraps, you know, just to live for a week. So I understand that there is some complicity in all of us and the destruction of the environment. But do I think it's what the elite are saying, and then the elite aren't changing? They're just trying to get legislation that makes us change, not them. The elite are making legislation that we have to change. They don't have to do shit. Because they know our dumbasses are going to buy their fucking iPhone. I'm not going to buy the iPhone. I still got an iPhone 6S. And I'm riding that shit till the wheels fall off. My motherfucking flashlight don't work. My ringer, like I can't even turn my ringer off. Every time I fucking try to make it vibrate, my shit be ringing at work and all through everything. And I can't even turn that shit off. My shit's running to the wheel. I can't even update my shit no more. I'm like on iOS 12.5 or some shit. And good. Because I don't need a good phone with 3 different cameras so they can spy on your ass in all different angles, really. All these microphones so they can listen to your ass, even though I know my iPhone 6S still be listening to me and, you know, filming everything I have with the same shitty ass camera. So all I'm doing is upgrading to an iPhone so I can have a faster, so I can use Instagram faster. These people are fucking scum. So I can possibly use, like they got that commercial where the iPhone you can fucking, I'm gonna film a film with this. I'm gonna film a music video, which I hope people do. I hope people use it artfully, and that's probably the best thing that they can do to use it. But hey, that iPhone, what is the environmental detriment for that shit? And that also gets me thinking about too, like with this current scamdemic, they're not thinking about the other costs. They're just like, oh, we gotta vaccinate and shut down, and if you go into a restaurant, even though I'm vaccinated and I can pass it and still get it, I don't have to take a negative test, and those who should be able to take a negative test, they can't come in even though their test is negative, and they're least likely to pass it, because if the PCR test is so valid, they should be, you know, the safest person in society, a person with a negative test even over the vaccine. But they're not thinking about how they're starving the third world, how, you know, there's no, like the NFL's new campaign, during the pandemic, people couldn't get cancer screening, so now late stage cancer is bigger than ever. It's like, fucking A, these people don't give a fuck about shit, man. It's so funny. It boggles my mind that people pretend to care about shit, especially the climate. These people don't give 2 giant fucks about the climate. They give a fuck about controlling everything that we do, while they just get to do whatever the fuck they want. They get to manufacture their products any fucking way they want. That's why they sent all their shit to China in the first fucking place. And that's why they have all these, that's why Fauci and all these scumbags are investing in labs in China, because China don't give a fuck about shit. You know, just like they haven't done the whole 20th century when they're murdering hundreds of millions of their citizens. And still to this day, they're enslaving their citizens and probably murder them and shit too, because just like in the 20th century, the West censors a lot of shit in the media, and they only do celebrity shit or whatever is going to cause a lot of fear in the people, or whatever the government's propaganda is, because they're all Operation Mockingbird assets. But I'm gonna speak on that in another video about the media specifically, as I always do. But climate change is real. But it may be as simple as the sun rises and sets every day. It could be a hot day, or a cold day. It could be a rainy day or a sunny day. Whatever happened to the earth warming? That you notice how they call it climate change now, not global warming? Oh, for this decade. What the fuck are they talking about? During the so-called Jurassic Age and all these fucking prehistoric ages, weren't they talking about the earth was hot than a bitch? Didn't we go through an ice age? Like the Earth's climate, these fucking meteorologists, even like meteorologists, well, this is the hottest day on record. Oh, what about fucking before the record? Oh, you guys can't, I'm drawing a blank on the word. You guys can't validate that, you know, obviously, because they didn't record it. And they probably didn't have the tools to record the temperature. But fuck you, you fucking scum. This is obviously propaganda by scumbags, but, you know, that's my thought of the day. Chief again, and I would like to thank you for listening to my inane pontificating. Please like and subscribe to Bad Thoughts Publishing Company on YouTube. Thank you so much.